Okay, today this demo is the first step in the screen printing process. In your drawer you'll have a screen printing frame that looks like this. What we're going to be doing is we're going to take your frame and we're going to attach a screen printing mesh with a high performance super glue so that when you get done the frame will look like this with the mesh completely stretched and ready to go for the next screen printing process. For this demo you're going to need a few things in order to attach your mesh to your frame. Obviously, besides your frame, you're going to need a pre-cut mesh panel that you can obtain from your instructor. You're going to need the two parts of the adhesive system. You're going to need the glue, you're going to need the activators. You're going to need both of those. You're going to need an X-Acto knife, a squeegee. You're going to need a tensionometer, which is going to measure your screen tension so that you know you have your screen tight enough. And then you should always have nearby this little bottle right here. It's called debonder solvent. Should you get any adhesive on your fingers, we have to put this on along with a terry towel to wipe it off so that this glue doesn't become permanent on your fingers. You've got about 5 minutes to find the bottle. It should always be out where the stretcher is. Okay, in order to get started now, you're going to take your frame. The frame has two sides. It has a rough, gnarly, nasty looking side, and it should have a relatively clean side. You have to attach the mesh to the roughened side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it on the wood block like so. And then we have to take these bars. These are what are going to create the tension here. And what we want to do is push in all the levers on all four sides so that these handles that you see are all at about the same angle all the way around. Once that's done, take a look at these bars. If there's a gap that you can put your finger through in the corner, you have to physically slide the bars over. All four have to touch one another in order to get proper tension. And you can see in the four corners now, we're touching. Next step, you're going to take your mesh panel. We're going to lay it over the top, and you want to get it nice and square. You don't want to put it on at an angle like this, okay? It needs to be square to the frame. Then what's going to hold our mesh into place are these things called locking strips. The locking strips are set up so that there's two long bars and there's two short bars. The long locking strips go to the long bars, short locking strips to the short bars. Now what you'll notice is that there's a black rubber piece right here. When we put this in, that's going to have to go toward the middle of your screen. So the question becomes, where do you start? Well, as you're standing in front of the stretcher, you want to put in the first locking strip opposite of where you're standing. And if you notice, it's just not going to set in. What you need to do is grab it with both hands, angle back, drop the rubber piece down in the slot, and push back. Next, we'll do the front locking strip. Again, we're going to angle the strip down into the slot, push back, then we go to the left side. Angle back, push in, and then finally on the right side, we will do the same thing. Once we have those in place, we can apply our tension. And again, the order will be opposite, front, left, then right. Let's see if it works. Opposite, front, left, then right. Now, we know we have a good tension screen, but we need to check it. So what we're going to use is our tensionometer. Tensionometer is a very precise instrument that measures screen tension. The only time this should be out of the box is when you place it on the mesh. Never lay it around. This device is $500. So it's either on your mesh or it's in the box. We're going to lay it on, and what we want to see is a tension that's at least 20 newtons per centimeter. And you can see right now we're at about 30 in the one direction. We have to be within 2 newtons per centimeter in each direction. So if we're reading 30 this way, when we turn it 90 degrees and measure this way, it has to either be 28 or 32. Let's check it. And we check it, and we're just a hair under 30. We're at about 29.5. So we're within our 2.5 newtons, or excuse me, within 2 newtons. We can go ahead and put on the adhesive. Okay, once we have it stretched and we've checked our tension, we're then going to begin applying the adhesive. The adhesive is in the small bottle. We're going to take the protective cap off, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the adhesive down so that it's a small bead of adhesive like you're seeing being applied right now. In this instance, more is not better because of the type of adhesive it is. This adhesive has been specially formulated specifically to apply screen printing mesh to frames. You can see I'm not stopping. I'm going around in one continuous loop around the frame. That's what we want to do. Once we're done, put the cap back on. Then we're going to take our squeegee and we're going to spread the adhesive across the frame all the way around like so. Once we have the glue spread, we then are going to take our activator, and what the activator will do is it will instantly solidify your adhesive to the frame and to your mesh. You're going to apply the spray like so. About 3 sprays per side. Once it's applied, we're going to let it stand for about 10 seconds. That way, if the glue has been applied a little thick, it gives it time to activate and to solidify. Once that's done, then all we have to do is release our tension. And to get the locking strips out, all we're going to do is slide them out the ends, just like you see here. When we're done, your frame will look like this. Now this excess mesh we have to get rid of. And so what we're going to do for that is we're going to use our X-Acto knife. Now notice that the blade has been turned inward. We're going to loosen the collar, push down, we're going to turn the blade around, and we're going to tighten the chuck up here, the top part. Once you have that, you're just going to hold the mesh, you're going to poke the X-Acto into the mesh, and you're going to ride the X-Acto knife right on the edge of the frame to get a nice clean cut, like so. Once you're done, your frame will look like this one. Put this here. Take this excess mesh, you can go ahead and dispose of in the wastebasket. Make sure before you're done, always turn the blade back in so nobody gets stabbed with the X-Acto, and your finished frame should look like this. That concludes the demo on stretching your screen.